guys, what's up? Bargainman Hobo here, and today we're in April. April is the month of Easter, and with the month of the chocolate rabbits and the jelly beans, I knew I had to do something a little more wholesome today. What's wholesome, you ask? Well, what could be more wholesome than talking singing vegetables? I am talking about VeggieTales. Yep, today we're talking about Larryboy and the Bad Apple on the PS2. Wait a minute. Crave? Papaya? Now where have I heard of the... No. No! 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 Yeah, so, Crave Papaya made this game too. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I don't have very flattering opinions about this game. Okay, alright. Look, in fairness to the vegetables, it's only fair that we give it a shot. So let's go. Oh god, this is not gonna be good.
Once I'm finished with them, I'll be the one in control.
Not so fast, Bad Apple.
First Bumblybird, then the world.
It's apple picking time.
An ordinary citizen by day, changing suits when danger comes our way. Our vigilant defender and our friend, protecting us from villains to the end.
Okay, first impressions are better, I guess. I mean, it's not very hard to beat George of the Jungle. Is the game made good? It's time to hobo up!
The story for Larryboy and the Bad Apple is the exact same as the film. What? You forgot this was a movie? Well, don't blame me, I didn't know until recently either. Anyway, the Bad Apple is trying to stop Bumblebird's 300th birthday party. What is her weapon? It's not a sword, it's not a gun, or even a potato peeler. Her weapon is temptation. She tempts several key figures in the party, and Larryboy must stop her. Yeah, if you're a fan of VeggieTales, you're really gonna like the story as it goes, and the VeggieTales stuff doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. There's a bunch of VeggieTales stuff here. So, let's keep going. Gameplay for Larryboy is an action 3D platformer where Larryboy must go through levels, reach the end, defeat enemies, to solve puzzles. You know, typical platformer fare, but hey, it works pretty well here. And hey, this is not a side-scroll like George of the Jungle was. Although, side note, George came out after this. Alright, Crave, what's the excuse? Come on, let me hear it. Larryboy has a variety of gadgets he can use on his quest. He's got a cape which he can use to glide, as well as other functions such as turn into a heavy weight, into a powerful source of energy, things like that. He's got a bunch more as he goes. He's also got a squirt gun to break down webs, and his super suction ears to grapple around. You start off with just a couple and get more as you go. And these honestly work pretty well. They're pretty situational, but hey, didn't you expect that? Larryboy's primary attack is a spin attack. It's the Whirlybird, and if you use it 3 times in a row, he'll get too dizzy and be stunned for a moment, leaving him vulnerable to attack. Although, it's pretty hard to do that on accident. I did it several times throughout the game, but each time it was on purpose. Now, the spin attack has other uses too, we'll get to that in a second. Standing in Larryboy's way are count 3 types of enemies. Grunts, launchers, and seekers. The grunts are just generic enemies just hopping around, just a simple hit with the spin attack is all they need. Then you have the launchers where you just have to deflect their attacks back at them. But then you have the seekers, which are by far the most annoying. With these guys, you can't attack them directly. You can't really attack them at all. The only thing you can do is lure them into an air vent to suck them away. Now, these guys can take a huge amount of health off you really fast, but sometimes they'll just stop chasing you after a while, which can be helpful to know because if you glide, they'll stop chasing you, which is good if they catch you out of position and you need to get them off your back. But yeah, that's the enemy types we're dealing with here. Not amazing, but what are you gonna do? Throughout the course of the game, Bad Apple targets 5 characters: Larryboy himself, Mayor Blueberry, Petunia Rhubarb the Reporter, Fire Marshal Grape, and Baker Luntz. Each of their temptations forms the levels. The level themes are candy and sweets, a mansion with an underground mine, a video game, a toy castle, and a sci-fi level. Each of them are very distinctive and look different, and the enemies are dressed accordingly. Well, the launchers and the grunts are. I know, 5 levels does sound kind of disappointing, but the levels are actually pretty long, and they're packed to the gills with music sheets and music notes. You'll need to gather these if you want to collect the songs, videos, and other things related to VeggieTales. There's a lot of stuff to unlock here, so if you're a fan of VeggieTales, you're really going to want to look for those. There's a ton here. These can be pretty well hidden though. In fact, I only found all the notes in 1 level, so that's because I actually went out of my way to find them all. After a while, I just stopped looking. However, you can replay levels after you finish them to gather what you missed, so there's that at least. Aside from simple combat, the game also has puzzles. Now, they never stumped me. I mean, then again, I am an adult playing this game, and I did beat this game when I was a kid, so I might have an advantage over kids who never played this game before. I don't know. As far as platforming goes, well, it's pretty simple. See, Larryboy has a really floaty jump. Now that sounds good, but he can accidentally overshoot platforms. I did do that a couple times. Now you do have fall damage, but it doesn't do that much. See, enemies and fall damage don't hurt you. Your deaths will more likely be from falling into bottomless pits than by dying in combat. But still, it is what it is. At the end of each stage, you fight a boss. Except, they're not really bosses and you don't really fight them. They're more challenges you get through, but they're really stupid easy. Take this one here. So, there's 9 cookies with a number attached to them, right? And she will pick a number and count to it, and if you're not standing on the number she counts to, the other cookies disappear and you fall in. This is so stupid easy because she tells you which cookie you need to go to, and she counts so slowly that you really have to try to fail this one. The others don't get much more difficult than that. It's, like I said, this game's not very challenging. Even the final, quote-unquote, boss isn't all that threatening. Okay, it's a bit of a spoiler, but okay, here we go. So the Bad Apple uses her webs to anchor her legs in different places, right? She has 8 of them. What you have to do is climb up to where the webs are anchored, spray them with your gun so it'll snap back and hit her, then you glide down where she's at and spray her with your gun to damage her. Do that 8 times and you win. First off, she's not actually attacking you. There's enemies to attack you, but they're easy to deal with. Second, when she gets stunned, you have infinite time to get down there and spray her. And 3, well, there's not a third, but I thought I'd say it anyway. Okay, see? There's no challenge here. The bosses aren't even bosses. This is just kind of a platforming segment more than a boss fight. What can you do? Okay, so the game is too easy for its own good. But at least it works properly. What's your excuse, George of the Jungle? Huh? Presentation is a bit of a mixed bag. See, like I said, the levels have all distinct themes, but the colors are a little muted. I think they could have been a little brighter. You know, VeggieTales used to be bright and colorful. These are a little darker than I think they should be. And as for the music, well, it sounds good, but it doesn't really fit. Listen here. See, this is a sci-fi level, but this music doesn't actually scream sci-fi, does it? Same with the video game level. Listen. Again, this doesn't exactly scream video game world. Like I said, it's good, but it just doesn't fit. Speaking of music, guess what they forgot to include? Boss music. Here, check this out. The music doesn't change. The music you heard in that scene is exactly the same as the rest of the level. So, I don't understand why they didn't compose the boss music, but, again, like I said, it's good. I don't really know what to say there. However, there's one more feature I want to talk about before we wrap this up. You see, this game has a timer feature. You find it in the parental control section, and it decides how long you're allowed to play in one sitting. So let's say you set the timer for 5 minutes. Once the timer goes off, the game will stop. Even if you extend the timer, you can't just set another 5 minutes, because the game keeps track of how long you've been playing, and then, if you still do the same amount of time, you've been playing 5 minutes, it'll still lock. So, good job, developers. This is the only game I've ever seen that has that. Not the only one that needs it, but still the only one I've seen that has it. Are there more? Let me know in the comments.
So that's Larryboy and the Bad Apple. How is it? Look at it and see. How's the gameplay? I will say right now it is so much better than George of the Jungle, but that's not really a high bar to set. This game does what it does it well, but it's not really that hard. Look, enemies don't hurt you that much. Falling doesn't hurt you that much. You're more likely to die from failing a platform section and falling into a bottomless pit than you are by dying in combat. This game is definitely made for kids, both the difficulty and, come on, it's VeggieTales. But if you are a fan of VeggieTales, you'll probably get a lot out of this with all this cool stuff you can unlock. How's the presentation? The colors are a bit muted for what I think they should be. I mean, like I said, VeggieTales. That said though, the game does look good. Music, well, sounds good. They're not exactly earworms, and they don't really fit the themes of the level they're on. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's nothing you're gonna remember the game for, and you're not gonna put it on your iPod, but regardless, it works what it is, I guess. Alright guys, look. I'm gonna say right now the game gets Hobo approves rating, but if you're not a fan of VeggieTales, just give it a pass. If you are, pick it up right now, it's that good. As for George of the Jungle though, when I reviewed this game a couple years ago, it was on a show that I'm not really doing anymore. I may or may not pick it up again later. I'll link it in the description, but warning, it's awful. I'll just say this right now and spoil it for you. In terms of that show compared to this show, this game is banned in the bin. So, happy Easter, everybody who's Christian. I hope you have all the candies that you can stomach. And next month is May, isn't it? Well, wouldn't it be appropriate then if I were to look at the arts of a man named Lucas? Yes, come back next month, we look at something by Lucas Arts. What's that? You'll have to wait and see. Hobo out!
Oh no, the news is worse than I thought.
Baker Lunt has fallen into a web of temptation and needs my help. I'm on my way to the bakery to help him.
Well, no, Master Eddie. The veterinarian just called. Your pet Matter has a bad case of the hiccups.
My pet Matta? I have one of those? Alfred? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing, Master Eddie. What's the matter with you? Oh my! Forgive me, Master Eddie. All joking aside, you are correct. Baker Lunt is in dire need of our assistance. All of the celebration supplies have been delivered, including the ingredients for the birthday cake. But without Baker Lunt, there will be no cake.
I'm nearly there, Alfred. Tell the vet to give my Matta lots and lots of water.